They figured turning against you would crush you. They thought they'd see you fall apart, plead for help, or feel worthless. But here's what they didn't expect. Turning against someone doesn't ruin strong people. It ruins the person who does the turning. Welcome to being strong and calm, and listen closely, because what I'm about to say might change how you think about betrayal forever. Betrayal is not like any other hurt. It doesn't come from a foe in a fight. It comes from someone near to you. It hurts more when someone you trust hurts you. It's worse than a stranger hurting you because this is someone who promised they wouldn't. Think about the times you were most heartbroken, the times you were let down the most, the times you almost fell apart. These things didn't happen because of your enemies. They happened because of people who used to be nice to you, people you shared secrets with, people who called you friend or loved you. Here's the sad truth. When they hurt you, they think they've won. They think they've taken your strength, stolen your happiness, and broken you. But they're wrong. Their betrayal isn't the end of you. It's the start of their failure. Let's go back to ancient Rome, to the Ides of March. Julius Caesar was a famous general, loved by the people and feared by his enemies. But the person who killed him wasn't an enemy. It was Brutus, one of his closest friends. Caesar trusted Brutus like family. Now imagine you are in a dense forest. The trees tower above you, their branches intertwined, creating a canopy that filters the sunlight into dappled patterns on the forest floor. You are surrounded by the sounds of nature, the rustling of leaves, the chirping of birds, the gentle murmur of a nearby stream. But as you venture deeper, you notice something amiss. The air grows heavy, the shadows lengthen, and an unsettling silence descends. It's as if the forest itself is holding its breath. You feel a presence watching you, unseen yet palpable. It's the weight of betrayal, a sense of unease that settles deep within your bones. Betrayal is a wilderness, a dark and tangled place where trust goes to die. It's a place where the familiar becomes foreign, where the people you thought you knew reveal hidden faces and sharpened edges. Think of betrayal as a thick forest. The trees are tall and their branches twist together, making a roof over your head. The sunlight comes through in patches on the ground. You hear the sounds of nature all around you, leaves moving, birds singing, and a stream flowing nearby. But as you go further in, you see that something is wrong. The air feels heavy, the shadows get longer, and everything becomes quiet. It's like the forest is waiting. You feel like someone is watching you, even though you can't see them. It's the feeling of being betrayed, a worry that stays with you. Betrayal is like a wild, dark place where trust goes to die. It's a place where things that seemed normal become strange, and the people you thought you knew show you their true, hurtful selves. But here's the key to navigating this treacherous terrain. You must become your own guide, your own protector, your own source of strength. You must learn to trust yourself, even when trusting others seems impossible. You must remember your worth, even when others try to diminish it. You must rise above the ashes of betrayal and forge a new path forward, one paved with self-love, resilience, and unwavering belief in your own potential. And as you journey through this wilderness, you'll discover that betrayal doesn't define you. It refines you. It doesn't break you. It strengthens you. It doesn't diminish you. It empowers you. For within the depths of betrayal lies the opportunity for profound transformation, a chance to reclaim your narrative, rewrite your story, and emerge as a more authentic, resilient, and empowered version of yourself. But here's how to get through this difficult place. You have to guide yourself, protect yourself, and find your own strength. You have to learn to trust yourself, even when you can't trust anyone else. You have to remember that you are valuable, even when others try to make you feel small. You have to rise above the hurt of betrayal and make a new path for yourself, filled with self-love, strength, and belief in what you can do. As you go through this wild place, you'll see that betrayal doesn't say who you are. It makes you better. It doesn't break you. It makes you stronger. It doesn't make you less. It gives you power. Because in the middle of betrayal, you can change in a big way. You can take back your story, write it differently, and become a more real, strong, and powerful version of yourself. Now let's explore the anatomy of betrayal. What makes it so devastating? What are the common forms it takes, and how can you recognize the warning signs? Betrayal is essentially a violation of trust, a breaking of a bond that was once considered sacred. It's the ultimate betrayal of expectations, the shattering of an illusion that someone you cared about would always have your best interests at heart. It can manifest in countless ways, from infidelity and deceit to backstabbing and betrayal of confidence. It can be a whisper behind your back, a knife in the dark, or a slow and insidious erosion of your spirit. But regardless of the form it takes, betrayal always leaves a scar, a wound that can take time to heal and may never fully disappear. Let's look at what betrayal is. What makes it so bad? What are the different ways it can happen? And how can you see it coming? Betrayal is when someone breaks your trust. It's when they break a promise that was important to you. It's when someone you cared about doesn't do what's best for you. It can happen in many ways, like cheating, lying, talking about you behind your back, or telling your secrets. It can be a quick, mean act or something that slowly wears you down. No matter how it happens, betrayal always leaves a mark. It's a wound that takes time to heal and might never go away completely. One of the most common forms of betrayal is infidelity, the breaking of marital vows or the violation of a committed relationship. It's a deeply personal betrayal that strikes at the core of your sense of self-worth and security. It can leave you questioning everything you thought you knew about your partner, your relationship, and even yourself. Infidelity is not just about physical intimacy. It's about emotional betrayal, the sharing of intimacy and vulnerability with someone outside the relationship. It's about the lies and deceit that accompany the affair, the sense of being replaced and discarded for someone else. One common type of betrayal is cheating in a marriage or relationship. It's a very personal betrayal that makes you feel insecure and question yourself. It can make you wonder about your partner, your relationship, and even who you are. Cheating isn't just about sex. It's about sharing feelings and secrets with someone else. It's about the lies that go along with the affair and feeling like you've been replaced by someone else. Another insidious form of betrayal is the betrayal of confidence when someone you've confided in shares your secrets with others. It's a violation of trust that can leave you feeling exposed and vulnerable. It's the realization that the person you thought you could trust with your deepest fears and insecurities has betrayed your confidence and used your vulnerability against you. This type of betrayal can be particularly damaging because it undermines your ability to trust others in the future. It can make you hesitant to open up to anyone, fearing that your vulnerability will be used against you. Another sneaky type of betrayal is when someone you've told secrets to shares them with other people. It breaks your trust and makes you feel open and defenseless. It's realizing that someone you thought you could trust with your worries and secrets has betrayed you and used your weaknesses against you. This type of betrayal can be very harmful because it makes it hard to trust people in the future. It can make you not want to talk to anyone because you're afraid they'll use your secrets against you. But perhaps the most painful form of betrayal is the betrayal of a friend or family member, someone you've known for years, someone you've shared countless memories with, someone you believed would always be there for you. When a friend or family member betrays you, it cuts deeper than any other betrayal because it shatters the foundation of your sense of belonging and security. It leaves you questioning everything you thought you knew about the person and your relationship with them. It can be a betrayal of loyalty, a betrayal of support, or simply a betrayal of expectations. But regardless of the form it takes, it leaves a lasting scar on your heart. But maybe the worst type of betrayal is when a friend or family member hurts you. This is someone you've known for a long time, someone you've shared memories with, and someone you thought would always be there for you. When a friend or family member betrays you, it hurts more than anything else. It breaks the feeling of belonging and safety you had. It makes you wonder about everything you thought you knew about that person and your relationship with them. It can be a betrayal of loyalty, support, or just not living up to your expectations. No matter how it happens, it leaves a lasting mark on your heart. So how can you recognize the warning signs of betrayal before it's too late? While there's no foolproof way to predict someone's behavior, there are certain red flags that can indicate a potential for betrayal. Pay attention to inconsistencies in their words and actions. Do their words align with their behavior? Or do you notice discrepancies that raise suspicion? Trust your intuition. If something feels off, it probably is. Don't dismiss your gut feelings or try to rationalize away your concerns. Look for patterns of dishonesty or manipulation. Has this person betrayed others in the past? If so, it's a sign that they may be capable of betraying you as well. So how can you see betrayal coming before it's too late? There's no sure way to know what someone will do, but there are some warning signs. Pay attention to when their words and actions don't match. Do they say one thing but do another? If something feels wrong, trust your gut. Don't ignore your feelings or try to explain them away. See if they have a history. And when Caesar looked into Brutus's eyes, bleeding on the Senate floor, his final words were not of anger or hatred, but disbelief. Et tu, Brute. You too, Brutus. That's betrayal. The wound from a stranger can heal, but the wound from someone you love, that changes you forever. But here's the lesson. Caesar never got to see the traitors who thought they'd won, were soon hunted, despised, and erased from glory, because betrayal has a way of turning on the betrayer. It always does. Now, let's fast forward to, you think about the one who betrayed you. Maybe it was a lover who cheated. Maybe it was a friend who lied. Maybe it was family who turned their back when you needed them most. They thought it would crush you. They thought you'd never recover. But the fact that you're here listening now proves one thing: you're still standing. And every moment you rise, every moment you choose silence instead of begging peace, instead of rage, progress instead of pity, you remind them of the truth. They didn't ruin you. They ruined themselves. This is where Stoicism enters, because the Stoics, Marcus Aurelius, Seneca, Epictetus, understood betrayal better than anyone. They live in a world of politics, power, and shifting alliances, a world where betrayal was not rare. It was expected, and yet they wrote words that survived 2,000 years later. Words that teach us how to stand unshaken when those we trusted turn against us. Marcus Aurelius once wrote, "When another blames you or hates you, or people voice similar criticisms, go their souls. Penetrate inside and see what sort of people they are. You will realize that there is no need to be racked with anxiety, that they should hold any particular opinion about you. Do you hear that? When they betray you, it reveals them, not you. It shows their weakness, not your failure. It exposes their character, not your worth." And that's why betrayal always backfires, because they think they've damaged you, when in reality, they've only unmasked themselves. And the mask never goes back on. So in this video, we're going to dive deep. We'll reveal the Stoic secrets to surviving betrayal. We'll uncover why silence is your greatest revenge. We'll explore why the betrayer's fate is always worse than betrayed, and we'll show you how to turn betrayal, the very thing they thought would destroy you, into the foundation of your empire. Because this is Bestow It, and after today, betrayal will never control you again. Part 2. Betrayal doesn't break you, it reveals you. They thought betrayal would be your breaking point, but what they didn't realize is that betrayal doesn't break the strong. It reveals them. Think about fire. When gold is placed in fire, it doesn't melt into nothingness. It becomes purer, stronger, more valuable. That's betrayal. It's the fire that strips away illusion and forces you to see reality. Marcus Aurelius, the philosopher emperor, once wrote, "If it is endurable, then endure it. Stop complaining." Simple, sharp, stoic. When someone betrays you, you're faced with two paths. Path 1, collapse under the weight of the betrayal. Path 2, endure. Rise and reveal a version of yourself even you didn't know existed. Let me ask you something. Have you ever noticed how betrayal sharpens your awareness? Before the betrayal, you trusted blindly, you gave freely, you believed in promises. But after betrayal, something changes. Your eyes open. You see people differently. You become harder to fool, harder to manipulate, harder to use. That's not weakness. That's wisdom. That's evolution. Seneca once warned, "It is more civilized to make fun of life than to bewail it." In other words, don't waste your life crying about betrayal. Laugh at it, rise above it, understand that it didn't break you. It trained you because the betrayer expected your downfall. They expected you to crumble. And when you don't, when you instead stand taller, colder, wiser, they're forced to see the truth. Their betrayal was the very thing that exposed your strength. Let's get brutally honest here. Most people in this world, they never get tested. They live easy, shallow lives. They never experience the sting of betrayal, the weight of abandonment, the heartbreak of being lied to by someone they trusted. So when hardship finally comes, they fall apart. But you've been betrayed, you've been tested, you've stared pain in the face and said, "Is that all you've got?" That's why you're dangerous now. Because you know how to suffer and still rise. You know how to walk through fire without losing yourself. And that terrifies a betrayer. Let me tell you something, no one else will. The person who betrayed you, they are haunted. They act like they've moved on, like life is good, like they're free. But deep down, they carry the weight of their decision, because betrayal is a mirror, and every time they look into it, they see the reflection of their weakness, their cowardice, their disloyalty. Meanwhile, every time you look in the mirror, you see someone who endured. You see scars, yes, but scars don't make you weak. Scars make you untouchable. Epictetus, the Stoic slave turned philosopher, once said, "It is not what happens to you, but how you react to it that matters." That is the heart of betrayal, because betrayal doesn't define you. The reaction does. If you react with desperation, begging, chasing after the one who betrayed you, you lose. But if you react with silence, with composure, with self, you win, without ever lifting a finger. Think about this. When they betrayed you, they revealed their soul, and when you endured, you revealed yours. Which one do you think history remembers, the traitor or the one who rose above? Look at Brutus, forever remembered as the man who betrayed Caesar. Look at Marcus Aurelius, forever remembered as the man who endured betrayal after betrayal, yet ruled with wisdom and composure. One is a traitor. The other is an emperor. That's the power of endurance. That's the gift of betrayal. So the next time you think betrayal broke you, stop, look again. It didn't break you. It revealed you. It pulled off the mask and showed you what you're made of. Part 3. Silent revenge becoming untouchable. They expected screams. They expected rage. They expected you to beg, to cry, to collapse at their feet. But instead you gave them silence, and that silence that was louder than anything you could have said. The Stoics knew this truth. Power isn't in reaction, it's in restraint. Marcus Aurelius once wrote, "The best revenge is not to be like your enemy." When someone betrays you, they want control. They want to own your emotions, your energy, your peace. They want to see you shattered because it validates their choice. It makes them feel powerful. But when you remain calm, when you give them nothing but silence, you starve them. You rob them of the victory they were desperate for. Have you ever noticed how silence can be terrifying? When someone shouts at you, it's loud, but it's expected. When someone cuts you off, insults you, betrays you, you expect an explosion. But when nothing comes, when you give them no reaction, the silence begins to echo in their mind. They start to wonder, why isn't he broken? Why isn't she crawling back? Why does their silence feel heavier than my betrayal? That's when the guilt creeps in. That's when the betrayer begins to unravel. Seneca once said, "He does wrong shall find the means of punishment in the wrong itself." Think about that. You don't have to punish them. They carry their punishment within them every night. When they try to sleep, they remember. Every time they see your silence, your composure, your rise, they remember. And that memory will eat them alive. But here's the part most people miss. Silence isn't weakness. It's the ultimate show of strength. Anyone can scream. Anyone can beg. Anyone can break down and lose control. But only the truly powerful can sit in stillness and say, "You no longer matter to me." Your silence is proof you've risen above them. And that's the kind of revenge no one can recover from. Let me give you an image. Picture a battlefield, two armies ready to clash. One army screams, taunts, beats their shields. The other army stands silent, calm, still unshaken. Which one do you fear more? The loud one or the silent one? You fear the silent one because silence hides strength. Silence means discipline. Silence means they're ready for anything. That's you now, the silent warrior. Epictetus warned us. If anyone tells you that a certain person speaks ill of you, do not make excuses about what is said of you, but answer, "He was ignorant of my other faults, else he would not have mentioned these alone." That's Stoic humor, that's indifference. That's the art of not only refusing to react, but making their betrayal meaningless. Because here's the secret. The moment you show that you don't care, the moment you treat their betrayal like a pebble in your shoe instead of dagger in your heart, they lose all their power. Now let's apply this to your life. Maybe it was a friend who stabbed you in the back. Maybe it was someone you loved who lied to you. Maybe it was a coworker who betrayed your trust for their own gain. In that moment, the natural impulse is to confront, to demand answers, to react. But the Stoic way is different. Instead of wasting energy on confrontation, you withdraw it. Instead of begging for their loyalty, you replace it with silence. Instead of trying to prove your worth, you quietly build a life so strong, so unshakable, that your very existence is a reminder of what they lost. That's the kind of power that makes betrayal collapse on itself. And here's the irony. The betrayer expects you to chase them. They expect you to fall apart without them. But when you don't, when you instead rise higher, build stronger, and stay silent, they're left with only one thing: regret. Regret is the heaviest chain a human can carry. And your silence forges that chain link by link until it drags them down. So listen to me carefully. Don't waste your life screaming at those who betrayed you. Don't waste your nights crafting revenge. Your revenge is your silence. Your revenge is your progress. Your revenge is your transformation. Because nothing, absolutely nothing, haunts a betrayer more than the realization that the betrayal didn't destroy you. It only made you unstoppable. Part 4. The betrayer's fate. Here's the truth about betrayal. It always comes back. Not sometimes, not maybe, always. Because betrayal is not just an act, it's a curse. The moment someone betrays you, they seal their own fate. History makes this clear. Take Brutus, the man who betrayed Caesar. At first, he thought he won. He stood over Caesar's lifeless body, believing Rome would call him a savior. But what happened? Rome despised him. The people saw him not as a hero, but as a traitor. Brutus spent the rest of his life hunted, hated and haunted until he finally took his own life. The betrayer became a ghost. That's the pattern. The betrayer thinks they've gained power, but betrayal doesn't give. It takes. It takes peace. It takes honor. It takes trust. And once those are gone, no amount of excuses, lies, or victories can bring them back. Seneca captured it perfectly. He who does evil to another does evil to himself. When they betrayed you, they didn't just wound you, they poisoned themselves. Because now every relationship they enter, every friendship they form, every alliance they build, that shadow follows them. The people around them may not say, but deep down they know if they betrayed once, they can betray again. And that silent doubt will rot every bond they try to create. But it's not just history, it's psychology. Guilt is not a weight you can put down. It lingers, it festers, it turns into paranoia. That's why so many betrayers live looking over their shoulder. They start to imagine everyone is betraying them because they know in their heart what they themselves are capable of. They project their guilt onto the world. They live in fear of their own reflection. Think about it. When you're betrayed, you hurt, but you heal. When they betray, they celebrate for a moment, but then the decay begins. They wonder, what if others find out? What if they tell someone? What if they rise without me? What if I destroyed the best thing I ever had? And those what-ifs never stop. Marcus Aurelius said it like this: the wrongdoer does wrong to himself. The unjust man is unjust to himself. He makes himself evil. Do you understand? Their punishment is not delivered by you. Their punishment is delivered by their own soul, because in trying to harm you, they corrupted themselves. And corruption eats from the inside. Look closely at people who betray others. You'll see it. They may look strong for a time. They may laugh. They may smile. They may even flaunt what they gained from betrayal. But watch long enough, and the cracks begin to show. Their relationships fail. Their reputation collapses. Their peace vanishes. And in the quiet moments when no one is watching, they feel the emptiness of what they've done. That is the betrayer's fate. They are cursed to live with themselves. Let me paint a picture. Imagine someone betrays a friend for money. At first, they enjoy the reward. But money fades. The thrill dies. What remains? The memory, the face of the one they betrayed. The knowledge that loyalty was sold for coins. And when that thought visits them in the silence of the night, it doesn't leave. That's the true punishment of betrayal. Not what happens to betrayed, but what happens to the betrayer. Epictetus said, if a man is unhappy, remember that his unhappiness is his own fault. For God made all men to be happy, free from trouble. The betrayer is the architect of their own misery. They built their prison the moment they betrayed you, and no matter how far they run, that prison follows them. So let's be clear, you don't need to chase revenge. You don't need to prove anything, because the betrayer already carries a punishment far heavier than anything you could give, and it will ruin them. Meanwhile, you rise, you grow, you build, you transform. In that contrast, the betrayed rising while the betrayer rots is the greatest justice of all. Part 5. Modern Application. A Stoic Guide for Today. It's one thing to study betrayal in history. It's another to live it in the modern world, because betrayal today doesn't always come with daggers and blood on marble floors like Caesar. It comes in quiet lies, broken promises, whispers behind your back, and secrets you were never meant to discover. But whether it's ancient Rome or your own living room, the pain feels the same. Maybe it was a lover who cheated on you, someone who swore loyalty, only to give their heart to someone else. Maybe it was a friend who betrayed your trust, someone who used your secrets as weapons when it benefited them. Maybe it was family, the ones you thought would stand beside you, but when the storm came, they left you to drown. Or maybe it was a coworker, someone who smiled at your face while stealing your opportunities behind closed doors. Betrayal takes many forms, but the Stoic response remains the same. Marcus Aurelius gave us the first step. When you wake up in the morning, tell yourself, the people I deal with today will be meddling, ungrateful, arrogant, dishonest, jealous, and surly. They are like this because they can't tell good from evil. But I have seen the beauty of good and the ugliness of evil. And I've recognized that the wrongdoer has a nature related to my own. In other words, expect betrayal. Don't be shocked by it. Prepare your mind for it every morning. This doesn't mean you live in paranoia. It means you accept human nature. You don't expect perfection from imperfect people. The second step, detach. Don't chase when someone betrays you. The natural instinct is to demand answers. Why did you do this to me? What did I do wrong? Can't we fix this? But here's the cold truth. Betrayal doesn't deserve an explanation. It deserves distance. Epictetus said, if you want to improve, be content to be thought foolish and stupid. When you choose silence instead of chasing, people may call you cold. They may call you heartless. Let them, because silence protects your dignity. Chasing destroys it. The third step, rebuild stronger. When someone betrays you, it feels like they've taken something from you. Your trust, your peace, maybe even your self-worth. But the Stoic answer is this: build so strong that nothing external can take your worth again. Seneca wrote, a gem cannot be polished without friction, nor a man perfected without trials. Betrayal is your friction. It's the trial that will polish you. So take that energy and use it on yourself like a sculptor shaping marble. Turn your pain into discipline, your silence into focus, your scars into armor. The fourth step, set boundaries, not walls. After betrayal, it's tempting to shut out the entire world, to say, I'll never trust again. But that's not Stoic. Stoicism teaches us balance. You don't lock your heart in a cage. You keep it open, but guarded. You learn to trust slowly, wisely, carefully. You judge people not by their promises, but by their actions over time. Marcus Aurelius warned, don't trust too quickly. Don't distrust too quickly. Always wait for reason. That's how you protect yourself without becoming bitter. The fifth step, redefine revenge. In the modern world, people think revenge means payback, expose them, hurt them back, prove them wrong, but Stoicism flips the script. Revenge is not about them, it's about you. Your best revenge is not a clever comeback. It's not proving to them that you're better. It's proving to yourself that you were never broken. Revenge is the quiet strength of living well. It's building a life so full, so disciplined, so powerful, that the betrayal becomes irrelevant. So let's apply this directly. Betrayed in love, don't fight for them. Build yourself until you attract someone who values loyalty. Betrayed by a friend? Don't beg them back. Forge friendships with those who match your loyalty with their own. Betrayed at work? Don't play office politics. Become so skilled, so disciplined that no betrayal can stop your rise. Betrayed by family? Don't drown in bitterness. Build your chosen family, those rare people who prove loyalty through action, not blood. Here's what betrayal teaches. The world isn't broken because someone betrayed you. The world is broken when you betray yourself by staying stuck in that pain. You can't control betrayal, but you can control what you do after it. And when you choose stoicism, when you choose silence, strength, self-mastery, you win a victory that betrayal can never touch. So the next time betrayal visits you, and it will remember this, it's not a signal of your weakness. It's the beginning of your transformation, and the betrayer, they already written their own downfall. All you have to do is rise. Part 6, the silent consequence of betrayal. Silence. It's something most people underestimate. When they betray you, they expect noise, an explosion of anger, shouting, tears, and endless arguments. They expect you to beg, to fight for them, to chase, to demand answers. That's what feeds their ego. But when you give them silence, when you walk away without a single word, that silence becomes deafening. It forces them to confront themselves in a way they never expected. Marcus Aurelius wrote, "The best revenge is not to be like your enemy." Do you see the brilliance in that? Betrayal tries to drag you into the mud, into games, into chaos, into desperation. But the Stoic refuses. The Stoic remains unshaken, unmoved, untouchable. And that's where the tables turn, the shift they never saw coming. At first, your betrayer feels victorious. They think they've hurt you, broken you, even replaced you. But weeks pass, months pass, and then it hits them. Why aren't you chasing them? Why aren't you fighting to win them back? Why aren't you crying for closure? That silence eats them alive because it shows strength they didn't think you had. Seneca once said, "He who is brave is free." Your silence shows freedom. You are not chained to them, not bound by their betrayal. You are free. And if freedom burns them more than any insult ever could, the inner collapse of the betrayer. Here's the truth people don't admit. Betrayers destroy themselves. Maybe not immediately, but slowly, relentlessly. Why? Because the guilt, the shame, the knowledge of what they've done, it follows them. They put on a smile, but deep down they replay the moment they lost someone solid, someone loyal, someone rare, and the longer you stay silent, the louder their mind becomes. Your absence screams louder than any words you could ever say. It's like Epictetus warned, it's not what happens to you, but how you react to it that matters. Your calm, your composure, your refusal to engage. That reaction flips everything. Instead of you being broken, they begin to fracture inside. Why silence is the Stoic power move. Think about it. If you fight back with words, they can argue. If you fight back with anger, they can dismiss you as bitter. But silence, they can fight silence. They can defend themselves against the void. And so they spiral. They stalk your life quietly. They wonder how you're doing. They imagine your strength, your progress, your growth without them. They betrayed you thinking they'd win, but your silence makes them realize they lost everything. The secret weapon of stillness. In Stoicism, stillness isn't weakness, it's power. It's the calm sea that drowns a storm. It's the unmoving mountain that humbles the raging wind. When you betray a Stoic, you don't just lose a person. You lose access to a fortress of calm, wisdom, and strength. And one day, when life turns on them, and it always does, they'll remember. They'll remember the loyalty they destroyed, the trust they shattered, the strength they'll never touch again. And by then it's too late. But what happens when you turn betrayal into fuel? When you take their attempt to destroy you and build an empire instead? In the next part, we reveal how the Stoic transforms pain into power so unstoppable, it rewrites destiny. Part 7, turning betrayal into fuel. They thought betrayal would break you. They thought it would leave you crawling, desperate, begging for pieces of the life you once had. But they didn't realize, for the Stoic, betrayal is not the end, it's the beginning. Marcus Aurelius said, "The impediment to action advances action. What stands in the way becomes the way." Read that again. What was meant to stop you becomes the very thing that propels you forward. Betrayal? That's fuel. Disrespect? That's energy. Rejection? That's the spark that ignites transformation. The psychology of transformation. Most people collapse under betrayal because they see it as a loss, but the Stoic reframes it. You don't lose. You gain clarity. You gain vision. You gain the fire to rebuild stronger than before. When they betray you, they hand you a gift, the gift of truth. You finally see their real character, the gift of freedom. You're no longer chained to someone unworthy. the gift of power, the chance to focus entirely on yourself. Epictetus reminded us we cannot choose our external circumstances, but we can always choose how we respond to them. And that, where the transformation happens, the betrayal is not your choice, but your response, that your empire in the making, the inner alchemy of pain. Think of betrayal as raw or dirty, heavy, painful. Most people throw it away, but the Stoic melts it down in the fire of discipline, reshapes it with wisdom, and forges it into strength. This is the alchemy of pain. You take what was meant to poison you and turn it into medicine. Seneca wrote, "Difficulties strengthen the mind as labor does the body, and betrayal is one of life's greatest difficulties." But instead of crushing you, it trains you. It strengthens your mental armor, sharpens your vision, and prepares you for battles greater than the one you just survived. The modern application: silent revenge through success. Here's where modern life comes in. The world watches how you respond. Friends, enemies, even silent observers. And nothing screams strength louder than refusing to collapse. Your greatest revenge is not anger, not bitterness, not chasing them. Your greatest revenge is undeniable growth. Build your body until it radiates discipline. Build your mind until no manipulation can touch it. Build your wealth, your empire, your purpose until they realize they gave up on someone unstoppable. That's when the betrayal flips. They thought they left you broken, but instead, they created a stronger, wealthier, wiser version of you, the truth about their regret. And here's the part nobody tells you. Betrayers always circle back, not always in person, but in thought. At 2 a.m. when they lie awake scrolling through memories, they'll remember you. And when they see the man or woman, you become untouchable. Focused, elevated. They'll realize their betrayal was not your ruin, it was theirs. But here's the hidden Stoic secret. It's not just about rising, it's about building an empire of inner peace so strong that betrayal can never reach you again. In Part 8, we uncover how to build that fortress within, step by step. Part 8, building the fortress within. They thought betrayal shattered you. But a Stoic doesn't just survive betrayal, he uses it to build a fortress so strong, so unshakable, that no future betrayal can ever wound him again. Marcus Aurelius said, "You have power over your mind, not outside of events. Realize this and you will find strength." That's the foundation of your fortress, not revenge, not chasing, not proving yourself to anyone, but mastering the only battlefield that matters, your own mind. The blueprint of inner fortitude. A fortress isn't built overnight. It's constructed brick by brick. Each brick is a practice, a discipline, a choice. Let's lay them down. One brick, one emotional discipline. Betrayal is fire. You can let it burn you, or you can use it to forge steel. Every time anger rises, remind yourself their actions belong to them. My response belongs to me. This separates you from the chaos. Their betrayal is outside your control. Your calm is within it. 2. Brick 2. Radical detachment. Seneca taught, "He who suffers before it is necessary suffers more than is necessary." Detach from replaying the betrayal. Stop reliving their words, their actions, their lies. They are gone. What remains is you and what you choose to build next. Detachment isn't coldness, it's clarity. You stop investing energy in those who no longer deserve it. 3. Brick 3. Purpose over pain. Without purpose, betrayal feels like a void. With purpose, betrayal becomes fuel. Set a mission that is bigger than your emotions. Whether it's building your career, strengthening your body, or mastering your craft, your purpose pulls you forward while pain tries to hold you back. Epictetus said, "First say to yourself what you would be, and then do what you have to do." Define who you want to be and then act accordingly. 4. Brick 4. Daily practices of power. A fortress requires maintenance. Daily rituals. Strengthen your defenses. Morning reflection journal. Like Marcus Aurelius, did physical training discipline of body equals discipline of mind? Evening review. Asked, did I live by virtue today? These rituals are not small. They're the steel beams of your fortress. The invisible power they'll never understand. Your betrayers expect you fall into chaos, rage, bitterness, desperation. But what breaks them is when you rise into peace, because peace is rare, peace is magnetic, peace is power. They look at you and wonder, how did he stay so calm? How did she move on so strong? And that wonder will eat them alive. Seneca said it best, the greatest wealth is a poverty of desires. When you desire nothing from them, not revenge, not closure, not validation, you become untouchable. The ultimate fortress, self-sufficiency. When you realize everything you need is already within you, betrayal loses its teeth. You no longer fear losing people because you build life so full, so strong, so abundant that no one can take it away. That's the fortress, not walls of stone, but a soul of steel, not gates of iron, but a mind of peace. And once you've built it, betrayal cannot enter. But here's the true Stoic twist. Betrayal doesn't just build resilience, it creates unstoppable momentum. We uncover how to channel this new strength into success so undeniable that your betrayers won't just regret leaving, they'll regret ever doubting you. Part 9. Turning strength into unstoppable success. Betrayal may have wounded you once, but now it has become the very force pushing you forward. The Stoic doesn't stop at survival. He transforms pain into progress. He turns betrayal into an engine of unstoppable success. Marcus Aurelius taught, "The impediment to action advances action. What stands in the way becomes the way." Their betrayal, what they thought would crush you, becomes your way forward. It becomes a reason you sharpen your discipline, the reason you pursue greatness with fire in your chest. Why betrayal is the perfect catalyst for growth. When someone betrays you, they give you two choices: collapse into bitterness and let it consume you, or rise so high that their betrayal becomes the spark of your transformation. Stoics always choose the second path, because betrayal removes illusions. It shows you the truth of people, and once you see clearly, you're free to build without chains, without distractions, without false loyalty, weighing you down. The Stoic formula for external success. Success is not an accident, it's built deliberately, and betrayal gives you the energy to build faster than ever. Here, the Formula 1 discipline over emotion. While others waste time venting, crying, and chasing closure, you channel all that energy into your grind. Every workout, every project, every late-night effort, it all compounds. 2. Focus over distraction. Betrayal clears the field. You stop investing in the wrong people. You redirect that energy toward building your empire. This is why Stoics succeed. They don't scatter energy on betrayal. They concentrate on growth. 3. Virtue over validation. The betrayer seeks validation from others. The Stoic seeks virtue in himself. And in the long run, virtue always outshines vanity. Seneca said, "The man who has anticipated the coming of troubles takes away their power when they arrive." You already prepared for betrayal. That's why, while they stumble, you climb. Modern Stoic success. Silent revenge. Think of the greatest silent revenge. Not insults, not rage, not exposure, but progress. The kind of success that speaks louder than any argument. You invest in your body until you radiate confidence. You invest in your mind until you become unshakable. You invest in your wealth until you build freedom no one can touch. And when they see you, not angry, not broken, not desperate, but thriving, unstoppable, untouchable, that's when their betrayal turns into their deepest regret, the betrayer's nightmare. They wanted you to fail. They wanted to watch you crawl, but instead you rose. And now, every win you achieve echoes in their memory. Every milestone, every achievement, every victory becomes a silent reminder. I should never have betrayed them. This is a Stoic's path. Not petty revenge, but legendary growth. Not bitterness, but brilliance. Not collapse, but conquest. But here's the highest level of Stoic mastery. Success is only half a battle. The true Stoic doesn't just win in the world, he wins in his soul. In Part 10, we uncover how to rise to such inner strength that even betrayal itself becomes powerless. Part 10, Mastery Beyond Betrayal. You've turned betrayal into strength. You've transformed pain into progress. But the final stage of the Stoic path goes deeper, beyond success, beyond external victories. It's about becoming untouchable, not just in the world, but in your very soul. Marcus Aurelius said, "You have power over your mind, not outside events. Realize this, and you find strength." External success may silence your betrayers, but inner mastery silences everything. Doubt, fear, anger, even betrayal itself. The highest victory, control the self. The true Stoic victory is not proving your betrayers wrong. It's not showing them what they lost. It's becoming so centered, so at peace, that their existence or absence no longer affects you at all. They betrayed you. That was their weakness. They regret it now. That is their punishment. You remain unmoved, calm, sovereign over your life. This is the highest level of freedom, emotional sovereignty. Why inner peace completes external power. Without peace, external success becomes hollow. You can build wealth, strength, and influence. But if your mind is still chained, resentment, you're not free, Seneca warned. No man is free who is a slave to his passions. Anger is a chain, bitterness is a chain, resentment is a chain. The Stoic breaks every chain. That's why he's unstoppable, not because nothing happens to him, but because nothing controls him. The Stoic balance, stillness and strength. Picture a warrior king. On the outside, he commands armies, builds empires, dominates battles. But inside, he's still calm, unshaken. That is the Stoic ideal, and that is you, external dominance. You rise, you build, you succeed beyond imagination, inner mastery. You remain at peace, never chained by betrayal, never haunted by what they did. The world sees your strength. You alone feel your peace. Together, they make you invincible. The end game, becoming untouchable. Here is the truth. Betrayal is not the end of your story. It is the beginning of your sovereignty. The day you stop seeking closure from others is the day you find completion in yourself. The day you stop proving your worth to others is the day your worth becomes undeniable. And the day you stop fear and betrayal is the day no one can ever break you again. Epictetus left us the final key. No man is free who is not master of himself. Master yourself and betrayal loses its power. Master yourself and you master like you, itself. In the final part, we bring everything together, the betrayal, the silence, the growth, the mastery, and show how to live as a modern Stoic warrior who not only survives betrayal, but rises to a level where no one and nothing can ever touch him again. Part 11. The Untouchable Stoic. They thought betrayal would end you. They thought it would leave you crawling, broken, forgotten. But betrayal did not destroy you. It transformed you. You rose from the ashes. You built strength from silence. You forged success from suffering, and you mastered peace from pain. Now you are untouchable, the journey completed. Look back for a moment. At first, betrayal felt like death. Then it became your fire next. It built your fortress, and finally it crowned you with peace and power. Marcus Aurelius, Seneca, Epictetus, they all live this truth. Life will betray you. People will betray you. But the Stoic path ensures you never betray yourself. That is the ultimate victory, the modern Stoic warrior. So who are you now? You are not a victim. You are not a casualty of betrayal. You are a warrior sharpened by fire, a king refined by trials, a soul tempered by discipline. You no longer chase those who walked away. You no longer seek revenge. You no longer crumble at betrayal. Because the truth is clear, they lost you, and losing you is the greatest punishment they could ever receive. The Stoic truth. Seneca once said, "The greatest revenge is to be unlike him who performed the injury." That's it. That's the essence of Stoicism. You win not by hurting them back, but by becoming someone they could never hurt again. And that is what you are now, the final word. So let them regret, let them remember. Let them live with the knowledge that betraying you was the moment their life began to unravel. But you move forward, you rise higher, you live free because you are Stoic, because you are untouchable, because you are unstoppable. This is your story now. This is your empire, and nothing and no one can ever take it from you again. This is Be Stoic. If this message resonated with you, remember, betrayal is not your end. It is your awakening. Subscribe, stay strong, and keep walking the path of the Stoic.